our big power struggle comes to a head this month. In reaction to continued rumors of dissension between Jerry and Jeff Jarrett, Dixie Carter had a long talk with them at Tuesday's TV taping. This was in the middle of the month. It is not unusual to see Jeff or Jerry meet with Dixie, but it is unusual for all three to meet together at once. The discussion lasted well over an hour. Carter also had a long talk with other office workers, perhaps in part trying to find out the source of some of the rumors about political infighting in TNA. Dixie, who by the way is 8 months pregnant at this stage, is like wandering around backstage being like, who is leaking all of this shit?
Like, imagine being Dixie and having to be a part of this like family feud. So ridiculous.
Again, 8 months pregnant and you're stuck between petty wrestling bullshit.
It's kind of a miracle that she stuck around so long.
That was Russo's point. It's like, once she has the kid, she's out of this. She can't possibly give a fuck about this nonsense when she has an actual thing to care about.
Yeah, well, joke's on him.
There were no major changes at that taping. Dutch Mantel and Jeremy Borsch were handling most of the bookings, with Jarrett in the Stephanie McMahon role of overseeing and supervising the whole operation, with Terry Taylor in the truck and Dusty just being a talent. Jeff Jarrett had confronted Jerry last Tuesday about word he was getting about Jerry trying to oust him from power.
So this next line, this quote, Jerry Jarrett, fuck you. You piece of garbage.
You can make an argument before we read what the next line is. You can make an argument that Jerry is intervening for the long-term sake of the company.
Oh, I'm doing a big old jack-off side right now.
Because the company is burning money at a historic rate and the Carters aren't happy. However, the next line, Jerry sees this as a great time to steal power as Jeff is tending to his wife whose cancer has come back.
That is your daughter-in-law, you fucking rat.
Bad. Also, if the company goes under, who gives a fuck? Surely family should be more important.
It's your fucking daughter-in-law, you dog.
Especially when you think about, it's not even their money anymore. If it was their money, it would still be a real problem.
Sure, it's like the family business failing.
Yeah, they still own a percentage of the company, so I guess they do have a financial stake. But it's the Carters' money now. So, like, who gives a fuck?
Also, Jerry, you got your fucking, like, real estate or whatever the hell business, your car, whatever the fuck it was.
He works in real estate.
You're fine.
The feeling is that Jerry doesn't believe in the office staff that Jeff has assembled, and that's been one of the big talking points. TNA has an office staff filled with guys who should not be running an office, says one TNA source. For months, Jerry Jarrett has been dropping details into conversations with people about the changes he'd make if he gained power, so the rumors last week of him making a power play came as no surprise to many within TNA. So we do have the big change, middle of the month, that is starting from November 19th. Dusty Rhodes does replace Jeff Jarrett as head booker of TNA.
I like how this comes off. Dusty has no booking power, he's just the talent.
He's just hanging around, chilling out. Oh no, Dusty's head booker.
It's amazing. This is the great thing about TNA at this point is it's truly a combatant of two people who don't lose. Mm-hmm. You're seeing it's Jeff Jarrett and it's Dusty Rhodes, and they're both fighting for the title of king of not losing in this business.
And it turns out for now, Dusty Rhodes is winning. I will say, I didn't remember the exact date Dusty took over. I knew it was sometime this month, but I was watching the Impact that has Scott Hall and AJ Styles in the main event. It's like, Dusty's taken over.
Yeah. I think it was actually the week before that he took over, but you can tell. It feels like a real wrestling show.
Yeah, you can see it's like stuff suddenly starts happening on Impact, a show where famously nothing happens. It's like, oh, you get Styles and Hall in the main event, and the next week you get Jarrett and Monty in the main event, and then it's all of a sudden, oh yeah, we have a new booker now, for sure.
We have allegedly entered the good era?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Let's see how that goes.
Dusty told the wrestlers that he has a different vision for TNA's booking than Jeff Jarrett, and he would begin to implement changes over the next few tapings, though he didn't get specific about what the changes would be. In a thing that ruffled a lot of wrestlers the wrong way, he did tell the wrestlers that they need to show respect for Scott Hall and Kevin Nash because of what they have done in their careers and for the rub they are giving the company. Apparently a lot of the no-name wrestlers were like, blah, 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 blah.
I'm Mikey Bats. I'm so sad that I have to show respect to Scott Hall. But it must be nice to be Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and just be able to like walk into any company and be jerked off so thoroughly.
You command or demand respect, not just command it. You do demand it.
Because you got to be in a group with Hulk Hogan.
Not everyone welcomed that comment with open arms. Actually, you know what? I can't let that stand.
I said it specifically to get a reaction.
To be fair to Hall and Nash, they made Hogan cool, not the other way around. It's like, if it was just Hogan turning heel without like the coolness that Hall and Nash brought next to him, that thing flops. It's just a Hulk Hogan heel turn. Who gives a shit? But Hall and Nash were cool.
Well, Hall and Nash aren't in the Wrestling Is Over Hall of Fame, so shut up, Garrett.
I nearly didn't give you your thing. I nearly just moved right on.
I was giddy when you were like, wait a minute.
Not everyone welcomed that comment about them needing to welcome Hall and Nash and be happy.
Not everyone on this podcast welcomed that comment from Liam about Hulk Hogan being the reason they were popular.
Considering some TNA regulars aren't pleased with how Hall and Nash seem to treat TNA as a joke during their on-air commentary, it's actually quite funny, so shut up.
Yeah, it's actually great.
Nash does not give a single fuck this month, and it is quite amusing.
One of my favorite lines from Nash this whole month was when he was introducing the Kings of Wrestling name.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just said it like, and we've got a new group, and the new group is the Kings of Wrestling, and we're here to take over, and we're going to take over this company. He said it exactly like that. There was no passion or emotion in his voice. He was just saying the lines.
If you go back and listen to me earlier recapping the Best Damn Sports Show...
Which, why would you?
Dash said the name of his stable with the exact same amount of enthusiasm.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's just leaning on the ropes 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
But like every little bit of in-ring action, he's been like bumping around, so...
He's only working once a month, so he's like, yeah, I'll take a bump or two.
Yeah. When AJ does a run-in, he'll bump for him. He won't give a bump for free, though.
We'll talk about all that when we get to the shows. There's a lot of Nash antics. It's very fun. Dusty and Agent Jerry Lynn met separately later with the X Division wrestlers, explaining to them that he feels their characters have been underdeveloped and he wanted to change that. He told them that they are great athletes, but he wanted them to slow down and tell better stories in their matches.
Suck a dick.
He said that was their role, and his role would be to give them more character development and promo time to get over.
I mean, that's fair. Like, they do need more character time, but don't slow down. You're the only interesting thing on these shows.
He said if they can't get over, he'll shake their hand for giving it a try, but let them go. Dusty's ruthless.
Yeah. Dusty's cutting the Eric Bischoff, if you don't want to be here, go, bro.
That was apparently like what the actual comparison was. Is people were like, some people took it well, and some people took it like a big Dusty rah-rah speech to let's kick it on to another level, and some people were like, geez, the ego on this guy.
I mean, it's Dusty Rhodes, though, you know?
Dutch Mantel remains Dusty's booking assistant, although he will probably have less influence over booking matters with Dusty than he did working with Jeff Jarrett.
Good.
Jeff Jarrett was said to be in good spirits, although he fought for the booking job. Once it was taken from him, he seemed to realize a big weight had been lifted from his shoulders.
See, that's what I'm interested, because like you obviously know the answer to this, but I don't. I'm interested to see in how Jarrett's role changes with someone else in charge of booking.
Because this is the last time until 2017 that Jarrett basically has the book.
Yeah, which is like kind of a momentous occasion that we've reached.
Because he always has influence. He's always in the room. But this is the last time that it's like Jeff Jarrett had control of creative until he's brought back in 2017 for like 3 or 4 months. So people think of like him as, or think of TNA as like his product. It was only really his product for about a year, because it was Jerry's mostly at the start.
Russo.
Then you had kind of like the Russo influence on the team. And then basically from like October 2003 to November 2004, it was Jarrett's creative vision. And that's the period where it stunk. But
that sucked.
Yeah.
So like, if you still want to like criticize it and criticize him as a booker, like I get it. But, you know, relative to the company's existence, it was a very short time.
So only for about a year, and if you include the 2017 stuff, about a year and a half of the company's 20-year history was like Jeff Jarrett's creative vision.
Does like Scott D'Amore have more booking like credit to his name at this point?
Yes, absolutely.
So there you go. It's like there's a bunch of people who have technically had more influence on the booking of TNA than Jeff Jarrett.
Even like Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, Hogan.
For better and worse. Mostly worse.
Well, like, listen, you want to insult Jeff Jarrett's booking, at least Jarrett, it didn't fucking immediately, like, sink it. Because Hogan and Bischoff came in and...
Rhodes didn't make many friends via his first meeting with the wrestlers. A number of wrestlers were insulted. By the way, Rhodes put over Hall, Nash, and Savage as the reasons viewers ordered the pay-per-view.
This is like when fucking Kid Cash is complaining about AJ Styles getting money.
We're going to have some things to say about BG James later in the show, trust me.
Oh, I'm ready. I just cracked my knuckles, like, instinctively, because we're talking about BG James.
One wrestler pointed out that Savage wasn't even advertised for the pay-per-view, and that they noted wrestlers such as Jeff Hardy, Raven, and BG James and other members of the roster also sold their share of pay-per-views.
Oh, well, some of those people did, yeah.
Rhodes' new philosophy is to run fewer matches on TV and make the matches longer, and try to slow down the X Division matches with the old make the spots mean more ideas.
I don't agree with the X Division stuff, but I do agree with less matches on these shows.
Some of them, on this 1 hour Impact, have 6 matches.
Yeah, like, let things breathe a little bit.
There's a bunch of matches that just end up going 90 seconds.
It's the Dynamite problem. Just, like, let things breathe a bit. Give space, because it inherently will make things feel more important.
He also emphasized letting guys have more interview time, and that the guys who can't pick up the slack on their interviews will eventually be replaced by those who can.
Yeah, well, Dusty's definitely... A Dusty booked promotion is definitely going to have emphasis on the promos.
The positive is a lot of wrestlers know that there will be long-term angles. Apparently Dusty planned out his first 6 months in advance. So hopefully, knowing where they're going, they can tell the stories as opposed to the past where the top guy may have 2 or 3 weeks of knowledge of where they're going. But most everyone else didn't know until they showed up at TV.
Well, it's definitely an interesting time
in
TNA. And I'm cautiously optimistic about the next month.
Like, realistically, I think anybody who listened to this show for the last year of this show covering stuff
knows how much we hated it.
Yeah, knows we haven't been particularly hot on Jeff Jarrett as a booker. So, any change to that, thumbs up.
Like, we would have been as excited about the idea of Russo getting full control to show you how little we loved the Jeff Jarrett era.
Yeah, literally, we kind of baby-faced Vince Russo on the way out just based on how bad the Jarrett and Mantell reign was.
Which is, like, insane.
Which again, Dutch Mantell is another one of those annoying cunts who keeps on tweeting.
Oh my god. Did you see that he either learned how to rip off someone's video or he paid someone to make an AEW botching, like, highlight reel? And I don't know which version is sadder.
Like, we watched this year of television that you didn't have the book, you were booking assistant to Jarrett, but it fucking stunk. So you go away.
Yeah. I just want to, like, add Dutch Mantell and say 2014 and they sucked. Dutch Mantell's tweeting about Teddy Hart.
Have you watched that documentary?
Not yet. I probably will.